There.
We can
Okay.
hear you.
All
We can
right.
hear.
Great. All right, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the team phone call. My name is Debbie Wetzler. I am coming to you live from Denver right now. Um, and David is on the road coming back from Richmond. He just did a presentation there um, in Charlottesville and Richmond. So we're just trying to pump it out here. So the purpose of this call is to welcome new people, our new team people onto our phone call and show them our team and hear a little bit about them. We do some recognition, we do some testimonials, and we get together as a team so that we can work synergistically together and move forward and work out any issues or and celebrate what we've been doing in the past. So that's the purpose of the call, and David usually goes a little bit more into it and shows you the infrastructure, but we don't have that up right now. So we do have a whole set of papers for anybody new on the phone call that will tell you pretty much everything all in one place. It looks a little overwhelming when you first get it, but we have lots of webinars and phone calls to plug into. And it can become quite confusing unless you have all the information right in front of you. So David has put together something we call the infrastructure because you win by using it. We have all the webinars listed, and we do webinars on, we do a team phone call on Monday nights. We do webinars on Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern. David does one for Europe, but anybody is welcome. And then on Thursday, we do one in the morning for Asia at 9 a.m. Eastern. Again, anybody is welcome. And if you have Asian teams, please have them plug in. And then I do another one at 1 o'clock Eastern for Europe again. You can plug into that. And then Thursday night is the expert on the call house. And we have people over to our homes, or we long distance, and then we do some testimony to an expert. Last week it was myself and my daughter Jackie. This week Terry Latham is going to be the expert in the house. So, and the experts can tell you all about redox and what it does for your body and the vision and of where this company is going and the worldwide domination we're getting. In this infrastructure, the 3 and 5, and that's rubbing Renew 28 3 times in 5 minutes on anything that may be hurting you, and having usually a response out of 9 out of 10 people within just pain disappears and goes away. So it's really quite amazing, the product and how fast it works. And we've been having some major testimonials here. Those of you who don't know and haven't heard Pearl Bowen's testimonial, I think it's quite remarkable. So I'm going to put her on the spot and ask her to talk to you about what happened with her eye when she first had this happen. So Pearl, I'm going to let you hold the phone.
Hi. I'll share on Debbie's phone. I had been using ASEA for a couple of years and had some pretty serious skin issues taken care of, so I knew that it worked. And I was cleaning my eye with a wire, cleaning my car battery with a wire brush one day, and a little flick of the car battery acid got in my right eye, and it burned horribly. I ran to the house and connected with one of our doctors, and I called him and told him what I had done. And I said, I haven't been to a doctor in 17 years. I'm not a big doctor girl, but I just wanted to know if I should go to the emergency room. And I said to him, this is what I've done, and tell me if you think I should go to the ER. And he said, if you keep it wet with the liquid ASEA, you'll be okay. So I did. I trusted him, and I trusted the molecules, because I had already had some pretty serious skin issues come off my body. So I kept it wet for 2.5 days with an eyedropper and a spray bottle, and the molecules signals. They sent signals to the damaged eye cells to say, either repair the damage if it can be repaired, and if it's too far, if the cells are too far damaged, then the cells need to leave. So some of the cells came out of my eye, and new cells, the molecules are a signaling molecule by definition. So the cells that were healthy enough repaired themselves, and then they actually developed new cells, healthy eye cells, and in 2.5 days, my eye was whole. So it's a pretty powerful testimonial. It was an extremely painful 2.5 days, but just so grateful for ASEA and for the trust that I had in the molecules, as well as in the doctor that I called that day. So just forever grateful. And Debbie's working on getting her computer set up so that she can manage this call from her computer instead of her cell phone. We just arrived at Peg's house, so we are on the road. Hi, Peg.
Hi.
So how are you doing there, Deb?
Wait a minute. I need the password from Patty.
Okay. All right. Hi, Peter. Thank you for running the computer. This is
No problem.
we always say it takes a village.
Is it this one?
And it's just helpful when there's team. We got stuck in freeway traffic in Denver. It's always helpful to know that we can reach out to someone. Debbie called Peter and said, Peter, can you help me out here? And he got on his computer and is running the call. So when people say, is it network marketing? I tell them, absolutely. The dance floor is open. Would you care to dance? And this kind of teamwork is a big benefit to how we run our business. And I can share a quick story while she gets her computer set up. We stopped at a grocery store. This is just how this network grows. We stopped at a grocery store, and I said to Debbie, I'm going to come in and make a new friend and introduce this to someone in the grocery store. She says, oh, stay in the car. And I said, I am not. I'm going to come in there and meet someone. So I went up I was in the vegetable area getting some celery, and this handsome gentleman was standing there packing his bag. And I said, that looks like a healthy basket. And he said, this is a game basket. So he was getting groceries to fix dinner for some of his buddies to watch a game on TV tonight. So that opened the conversation. And it turns out he's moved up to Denver from Northern California. He came up with his job and then decided he wanted to have his own business. So he opened a small trucking business. He's an entrepreneur. And I said to him, you sound like a smart man. And have you ever thought about maybe having a financial plan B in place? And he said, yes. And then it turns out he has a physical need. He's got a pretty serious knee issue that the technology is going to help. So we went out to the car and got a sample of gel, and he got to meet Debbie, and we chatted a little bit. So I suspect that young man will probably join us in business. And it all happened because I went into that grocery store with an intention of meeting a new person and introducing them to ASEA. So if you ever feel shy about sharing this message, I would ask you to consider get over it and just put a smile on your face and open a conversation, because a stranger is just a friend that we have not yet met. And it happens every day for me. Are you on? Are you on, Deb? Okay, he's on. She'll take it from here.
Oh, well, why don't you give me your phone, because it's giving me an echo.
This is your phone. So turn your phone on.
And without further ado, hang on.
Debbie, you're muted.
Yeah, working on it.
All right. We have a special guest on tonight, and I'm not sure how many of you have met Steve and Sarah Aquilina. Am I pronouncing that right? They are platinum in one of the hottest growing Australia teams in the world, basically. I think the Australian teams are growing faster than anybody in the world at this point. And because every time I see the rank advancement, thanks to Trish, and it's always Australia. And so we were talking in Cabo, and he's amazing. Sarah's amazing. They like to keep this fun. They attract some of the energetic younger people in, and they've set up meetings that are just, full of fun, excitement. People want to go to them, and they run their teams the same way. So I've asked if he would be on tonight to share with us, he and Sarah, how they do that and give us some ideas since we're a little older, some of us. We'd love to know how to keep this fun and exciting. So I'm going to turn this over to Steve and Sarah, and if we can just all kind of welcome them. Thank you for being on the phone call tonight.
Oh, thank you, Debbie,
Thank you.
thank you so much for
Absolutely.
inviting us on. We're really, really honored to be here. Is that Peg in the background? Hey, Peg. Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Sarah.
How you doing? We love seeing you guys in Cabo. So much fun. Hey, Jackie.
Hello,
Peg,
guys. Thanks for
Peg.
coming.
Yeah, we're so honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us. We're really, really excited to be here. We're big fans of the Westlers, and Peg. Peg gives the best cuddles in a seer I've ever had.
The best what?
The best
Hugs.
cuddle.
Best
Oh,
cuddle.
hugs, yes. Indeed.
Or hugs. Maybe that's a more appropriate word. I don't know.
No, cuddles is fine.
So yeah, look, I'm Stevie, and this is my beautiful and much better half, Sarah, and we're from Sydney, Australia, and we're millennials. Apparently, we found that out just a week before we went to Cabo. Marco had us on his millennial Facebook page, and we had to look up what millennials were, but it turns out we're millennials. So Google told us that if you were born after 1980, you're a millennial, and so I'm
Just made it.
I'm 1981, and Sarah's 27, whatever that is.
Just had the grace.
So we're millennials, and look, so we'll do our best to try and talk a bit about how we have so much energy and how we keep looking forward and moving forward and stay motivated, and welcome any questions anyone wants to throw at us, either via Debbie or via the chat box, so we can answer them as best we can. But I'm gonna let my wife start because I tend to take over when I start talking.
Yeah, he does. So I think one of our leaders here in Australia, Malcolm Sword, we were on a call with him the other day, and I think he said it best, like, we always remain teachable, and I think that's really, really vital, no matter what level you are. What level is Malcolm Sword? I think he's triple diamond, and he still to this day remains, teachable, and I think that's super important. We have a good mindset, and we encourage our team to keep a good mindset. We're always grateful, always grateful. What else? I don't know.
So look, staying enthusiastic and motivated and upbeat.
That's what I was
wasn't do you want to go
No,
more?
no,
wasn't always a attribute of mine. Wasn't always an attribute, sorry, of mine. I did have issues where my moods would be quite low quite often throughout my life. And thank the heavens for a seer that changed all that. So every morning, as soon as I'm waking up, I'm drinking my seer, and every evening before I'm going to bed, I'm drinking my seer. And anywhere throughout the day, I need a little extra hit of those molecules that we trust in. Then that's helping me as well. I set daily rituals. I have daily habits.
Yeah.
That are very, very important. Wake up every morning and I write down my goals. I don't spend too much time on this. I just write them down very quickly. It might only take me 2 to 3 minutes. I don't bother revising them or rereading over them or meditating on them too long. I just scribble them down very, very quickly. And that helps me get focused first thing in the morning. And then I do that also before I go to bed at night. I rewrite them again. And then I will do it throughout the day anytime I'm feeling low, or I've had a disappointment, or I've had a rejection, or I've had a setback, and always realigning myself on those goals. I do meditate, if anyone is inclined to do so, it's probably one of the best things that you can do for your mind and for your body and for your spirit. And then I always
Steve?
make sure that I'm taking care of the most important real estate in the world, which is the space that resides between your two ears. And I'm always constantly sticking in some headphones to listen to some education, self-development. Yeah.
Do you encourage your team to do the same thing? I mean, is this something that you're trying to replicate in your team as far as writing down goals twice a day and meditating and that kind of thing? Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. We tell them exactly what we do, and try to, be the example to encourage them to do the same as well, especially the goal setting. I mean, the writing down the goals morning and night, it sounds simple, but I challenge everyone here on this call to do the same as well.
It's good to set a good mindset and
yeah, absolutely. And I think what you'll find is that you might be good at it for the first few days or maybe the first week, but then you'll start to struggle a little bit after those next few coming weeks. Something will get in the way, you'll forget to do it, you'll maybe fall asleep on the couch and go to bed a bit later than usual. It's quite a challenge, but I encourage everyone to do that. When we started doing that, it really, really changed. There's magic in that. I don't know how it works, whether it's, the power of God or law of attraction or whatever you want to call it, but it works. Exercise, I make sure that I wake up at about 5:30 a.m. every morning. That's when I quickly drink my iced tea, and then I quickly scribble down my goals, and I quickly meditate, and then I rush off to the gym because I want to do it at that time, because it's too early for me to call anyone and too early for anyone to call me, and that helps me get excited and enthusiastic as well. So all of those things over the years have helped me with my low moods and making sure that I'm always upbeat and energetic and excited and ready to go out and do more. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've always made sure that I've got something better to do. I've always got something better to do. I've always got something to look forward to.
Explain that. What does that mean?
Sure.
Something better to do.
Yeah, sure. I've always got something to look forward to, and not on me being Mr. Positive, Mr. Enthusiastic, and having something to be excited about. I mean, I've got something on the calendar that I'm always moving towards. I've always got somewhere to go, somewhere to be, someone to talk to, someone. I've always got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I found that when I've had times of doubt and insecurity and fear and anxiety and depression,
when your calendar's empty.
It's when I've got white space on my calendar. If you want to meet the devil, leave white space on your calendar. He will come and meet you. And, when Sarah and I have always got somewhere to be and something to do and something to work towards, something that, is keeping us busy, we don't have time to, pick on each other about the little things like, oh, you leave cupboards open, or you just put the knife in the sink rather than on the sink, or, all these things that really don't matter because we're too busy for anything. We've always got something better to do, right?
That's perfect. And then for the goals that you write, is it kind of like a list of what you want to get done that day?
Oh.
Rather than, like goals, a lot of times people will write out what they want to get done in a year or 5 years. For your goals that you write down every day, is that more of a list of what you want to have accomplished that day? Or is it actual goals?
I've set dates or times to my goals. So one of them is Diamond by Dallas. It has a nice ring to it. I write Diamond by Dallas. So I write that down every day and things that I'm grateful for. But I want to lose a little bit of weight. So I've set markers. But I also have like my diary that I fill out every day as well, because I want to keep my life busy. Like Stevie said, that's how you get the energy and the motivation to keep going. Even like I homeschool, so I have like half of my day is homeschooling, and then the rest of the day I fill up with the CS stuff, and doctor's appointments, dentists, whatever it is. But keeping a busy diary is really helpful to keep you motivated and energized.
So that's a really, really good question about. Sorry, you go, Debbie.
Well, I was just going to ask her. So if you want to be Diamond by Dallas, have you cut that into biteable, doable parts? I know you're platinums, and I may have forgotten to mention that you're platinums. so you don't probably have too much further to go, but do you know how many people you need to talk to every day or every week, or do you break it down that way?
Yeah. Do you want to explain?
Okay.
Stevie told me what to do, so I just duplicate. Remain duplicate.
I need
It's
Stevie
the only
around
time
telling
I
me what to do too.
It's the only time my wife will let me tell her what to do.
It
in a
is.
SEA.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I could just go back to the goals really quickly for 1 second, because I'm glad you asked that question. I do have some important rules that I've learned about that. Is I write down the goals as if I've already achieved them, as if I'm already currently doing it or I've already done it. So I don't write down, I want to be a triple diamond. I write, I am an ASEA triple diamond. Yeah. I earn $72,790 income per month, which is like the average for Aussie for a triple diamond, right? I write down in present tense as if I've done it, I've already achieved it. I don't spend too much time reflecting or anything. I just scribble it down. And what I find interesting about that is some goals stick and stay, some go away, and some come back again.
Some you've already ticked off.
Yeah, and some you've already achieved. But I don't spend too much time reflecting on them or analyzing them or meditating on them or anything. I'm just quickly, whatever comes to my mind at that moment, I'm scribbling it down and then moving on. So Sarah likes to put dates to things. I don't tend to really put dates to things. I just write it down, let it be, and work towards that. Something that we learned when we were at a dinner with Chuck and Tammy. Tammy was talking to me about the rule of thirds, just to get back to the question about if you set goals about how many people you need to talk to and to get to triple diamond. Tammy explained to me a rule of thirds. Apparently it's something that's across the board in our industry. So if you want to sign up one person a week, and I don't recommend that, I recommend you do more. But if you want to sign up one person a week, according to the rule of thirds, you would have to get 3 people interested. Now, to get 3 people interested, you're going to have to find 9 people who are willing to accept the ASEA information to have a look at it. To find those 9 people who are willing to have a look at the information, you're going to have to talk to 27 people. Does that make sense, the rule of thirds? Now, when I've come back from Carbo and I've been teaching that to my team. So I'm just rounding it up to an easy number, and I'm saying, so you're going to want to talk to 30 people a week. Is that doable? Now, some people are going, yeah, 30 people a week, that's easy. And I say, yeah, exactly. Right. So, and then I say to other people, 30 people a week, how does that sound? I go, 30 people a week, where am I going to find all them? And I go, exactly. So I said, so let's break it down. We'll make it, 5 people a day. If you could talk to 5 people a day, is that doable? So if you talk to 5 people a day over 6 days, take 1 day off if you want to, whatever day that is, you've now talked to 30 people for the week. Where do you get those 5 people from? Well, you can find them in your phone. You can find them on your Facebook. You can find them on your LinkedIn. You can find them in your emails. You can find them on Shaper. Yeah, Jackie, we were so grateful that Jackie introduced us to Shaper. We've got Shaper now. I mean,
I think we get at least 5 people a day on that.
Yeah, you can swipe more than 5 people a day on that. And getting out in the world, going shopping and meeting people at the grocery department. Going to your church, or if you're a particular religion and you're not going to church, go and join a church, go to a gym, go to
join mums groups.
Join mums groups, yeah. You can easily, I mean, if you could connect easily on Facebook and LinkedIn alone, you could find 5 on Facebook, 5 in LinkedIn, and 5 out of your phone, and that's 15 people for the day.
Yeah, and that makes it much, much, much easier. So, and then Steve, do you have your own team phone calls with your team, or do you still plug into an Upline Diamonds team phone calls at this point?
Oh, we do both. They're both very, very, very important. Of course, when we started out, we were just plugging into all of our Upline Diamond calls. But now that we're so fortunate and blessed to be able to moving up, we put on our own calls as well. The speed of the leader determines the rate of the pack. So we need to be out there, practicing what we preach, and getting on calls and trying to, encourage other people to do what we're doing as well.
And what do you go over on team phone calls?
We do lots of different subjects. Last week we went over coming back from Los Cabos, we went over the importance of events and the importance of promoting events and using events as launching pads to create momentum, which you carry on to the next event, which builds more momentum. We run calls on on belief. I'll use maybe a bit of a naughty word in our industry, but we do. I have a sales and marketing background, and so I'm quite heavily trained in sales. And we sort of have a philosophy which we've learned, which is sell or be sold, meaning you can either sell or you can be sold. And that's why you sell it to other people. And we're sold on ASEA, and that's very important. Again, that belief in ASEA, we're recommending it to everybody we meet and everybody we know because we're sold on it, because we see the tremendous benefits in it, life-changing benefits in it. We sell it to our own mothers, so of course we're going to sell it to the rest of the world. And if we weren't willing to do that, then we've really got no business selling it. So we did a call based on, if you right now you're not sold on ASEA, because when you're brand new, it can be difficult. I remember when I first started, I started talking to people before I'd even received the product. So I couldn't be sold on the product, but what I was sold on was where the information was coming from. I was sold on the scientific research that had been done. I was sold on the places that this scientific research was being done. I was sold on the testimony of my friend who introduced this to me, which is Dan Doyle. I was sold on the merits and the good decisions that the company had demonstrated they'd made. So I could get sold to enough of a degree to be able to go out and recommend this to people and say, hey, look, I'm going to try this, but I'd like it if you tried it with me, because then, if I grow 2 heads, I won't be alone. We'll both grow 2 heads. But also, if we buy it together, we can save lots of money if we get a whole guinea pig group of us together to buying it together. So we run calls on all sorts of different subjects. Yeah.
So Peg has something to say.
So I think you're being modest, Stevie, because I know that for quite some time you helped and facilitated Danny Doyle's calls and moderated those. So don't be too modest, darling.
You told me you were an entertainer at one point also. Is that correct? Is that part of what keeps it fun and exciting too?
Hey, yeah. For the ASEA events, I'm very honored to always be invited to be the MC. And what we find at ASEA events, of course, is that we've got something that's very important. We've got something that's very profound. We've got something that, not just in the product, being something truly unique and truly special, but in the philosophy of ASEA, the culture of ASEA, the ethos of ASEA, and all of that stuff is of course the most important, but it can be very down and serious and quite intense at times. So yeah, at events, I bring in a bit of the energy, a bit of the comedy, a bit of the entertainment, and just in segments, as we transition from one very powerful and impactful segment from ASEA to ASEA ethos or science to how this is touching people's lives, I just bring a bit of that clown in between. I'm the clown in the circus that goes from the death-defying trapeze to the full, and then back to a lion tamer where it's all intense again. So that keeps people engaged. It keeps them awake. I feel it keeps them lit up, and it helps them hold attention, just sort of having those different ebbs and flows throughout the presentation.
Absolutely. And we do in the United States, we seem to do a presentation and then maybe a little bit of validation and testimonials. Oops, I didn't mean to take my camera on. And then we do very short trainings about different things like Genie or social media or things like that. Is that similar to what you do, and you just have something fun in between each segment or something?
Yeah, so every 3 months here in Australia, we run big events, and corporate come over and help us with that. So we start off with an opportunity meeting. We try to keep the opportunity 45 minutes or less, because when they're new people, their attention's, we all of us who are initiated, who are in this club, who are in this company, you know, we understand what's going on. We're already enthusiastic. We're already engaged, and you know, we come along wanting everything and more. But new people are just there to check it out. And so we try. I mean, basically, they just want to know three main things. You know, who are we? You know, what do we want, and what's in it for them? And so we try to deliver that to them as quickly as possible. And then yeah, we do go into team trainings after that. So getting started, training, success training, how to utilize Genie. Yeah, all of those you know, vital tools. How to build the belief, how to invite, how to follow up, how to collect decisions, all that good stuff that we learn.
Okay, and then lastly, we have a question, and I am assuming you want people to go through. Well, I guess they could instant message you. We have a man on whose son travels to Australia every year for about a 3-week period, or 3 months each year, and they wanted to know how to connect with people to come to some of the events. So I know they could probably go online to instant message you on Facebook for one thing.
There's a Diamond Facebook group, Australian Diamond Facebook group, which I'll share in the link, which has all the events that are coming up here in Australia. Perfect. Yeah, all over the world. Yeah, I'll just get that up for you.
If you'll type the chat, we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I think lastly, what I would like to ask, and then there might be some questions, is does your team kind of have a culture? I mean, do you, by that I mean, every team has things that they expect their team to do. So like I'm really, you know, into having people use Genie. So I want my team to use Genie and stuff like that. So are there particular things that you want your team to do besides exercise and meditate and all that stuff, which is great.
Get up at dawn.
Get up at dawn.
We're in a hurry to help people.
Yeah.
A series is important, and and so what we, you know, and so we don't want anyone to get confused. Not confuse our enthusiasm and our purpose and our passion for pressure, because it's not pressure. It's that we have something that's very, very important. We're in a hurry to help people, and we're not ashamed of that. We're not ashamed of what we've got. We're not ashamed of the technology. We're not ashamed of the business model we have. We're definitely not ashamed of the company. And so, you know, we're very open and transparent in making sure that we're letting people know that we've got something that they need to know about, and they need to know about it right now. What they do with it is up to them. But they need to learn about this for the sake of themselves and for their loved ones. And so I think that you know, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong or lean on this a little bit, but I think I've got quite a culture, a philosophy of myself of speed. You know, making sure that we're getting this out there as quickly as possible to as many people as we can. I mean, all I bring to the table for ASEA, you know, the main thing that I can do for the world now that this breakthrough exists is put it in front of people, get it into people's hands, and recruit people who can help me do the same. Success, you know, to steal the words from Eric Worre, success loves speed. You know, the old fable of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise, you know, didn't win because he was slow and steady. The tortoise won because the hare took a break. If there was a third creature in this fable who had the swiftness of the hare and the consistency and the dedication of the tortoise, then that animal would have smoked both of those characters in the story. And so, you know, Debbie, I'm sure you can attest to this because you've had huge success in this industry, you know, now and before. Slow and steady doesn't win the race in reality. It's a good story, but you know, we need to be in a hurry to help people and encourage others to do the same.
Yeah, if you create a team all at once and they all move forward together, it's much more exciting than having one person come in every 3 months or something like that. But a team together loves to move together and be strong together and go forward and have friendly competition, I guess.
And I think that's how we create that. I think that's how. Oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead.
And I think that's how you said that privately, honey. And I think that's how we create that excitement and that enthusiasm and that energy and that purpose and that momentum as well, is because that's our philosophy. We are in a hurry to help people. And I've had one of the best teachers of all to teach me that. One of my best friends and personal sponsor is Dan Doyle. In case anyone doesn't know who he is only been in the organization for about 3.5 years. And, he's right up there, third ranked and in the world. And, he's doing things in 3.5 years that, it's probably going to take me several years to do. And so he's a great example of, being in a hurry to help people and being very speedy. And that's creating massive success, not just for him, but in all of the people that he's helping. He's getting to so many people around the world and changing and bettering lives and being a force for good in the world, being a force, a speed force of good in the world.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. I know he's a sign-up machine. But he's got a great personality like you two do. And he just got such a great way with people. And as you two do also. So I'm going to say how much I appreciate having you on and letting you tell us some things. I'm going to, if you have just a couple minutes, I'd like to know if anybody does have any questions for Stevie and Sarah.
I have a question, Debbie. This is Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Stevie and Sarah, thank you very much. Great points. My question to you is, if you start a conversation with either a stranger or a friend, do you tone it down when it comes to ASEA, or do you let your passion free flow? I mean, are you saying, I might have something that might help you? Or are you saying, hey, you've got to look at this. This is the best thing since sliced bread. It's a miracle. It can do this and that.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Look, if you knew someone you cared about was in trouble, and trouble could be any of those 6 reasons that one of the great a couple of the great inspirational people I know. Debbie Wessler knows this. I've been a Debbie Wessler fan, and I got the pleasure of very nervously interviewing her a few months ago, but also a Dr. David Silverman fan as well. And so if anyone's in trouble for any of those 6 reasons that Dr. David Silverman has spoken to us about, if you knew you had something that could solve their problem, if you knew you had something that was going to better their situation, that was going to have an impact on them to such a great degree, like anything, this was going to change, this was going to better, and this was going to give them their life back. If you knew you had something that was going to 100% achieve all of those things, would you want to tell them that you maybe had something that could help them, or you definitely had something that could help them, and they need to see it? I tell people they need to see it. I tell people that everyone needs to know about ASEA. No one has to tell anybody about ASEA. That's a personal choice, but everyone needs to know about ASEA. And that passion and that enthusiasm and that excitement, I think, is what helped us get started right from the beginning, when we didn't know what to say. We didn't know what redox sealing molecules were, or mitochondria were, or Krebs cycles, or adenosine triphosphate, or any of those things that we still don't explain, by the way. But that excitement and that passion, that enthusiasm, got people's attention. So I actually tell people what ASEA is not. I have excitement, I have enthusiasm. I learned.
Little rap.
Yeah, I'm not, a health practitioner by any means. I'm a personal health enthusiast. I've always eaten excellent, trained for excellence, physically and mentally. But I'm not a doctor. But I've learned everything that I can from a layman's perspective anyway, as much as this simple, high school dropout brain could take in. I learn as much as I can about ASEA and about the science, and I encourage all of my team to learn as much as they can from that technical perspective as well, so that not so they can explain it. I don't want them to explain it, but I want them to get the belief from that information that this is the real deal. This is not some gimmicky, copycat, me too, just out for a buck product. That this is the furthest thing from that. This is the exact opposite of that. And so I learned everything about ASEA, but I never explained, especially on the first phone call, or the initial phone call what a seer is. I tell people what it's not. I say,
Do
look,
You want to run through that list? Peg's heard that list. There's about 25 things. or
I
something.
love that. Listening to it on the beach. Just
Yeah,
whip it
and we're
home.
recording this, so we'll be able to copy you.
so I tell people, look, I promise you, before you start thinking to yourself, oh, here we go again, this is just going to sound like a lot of things I've already heard about a lot of times before. I promise you, you have never seen or heard of anything like this before, because there has scientifically never been anything like this before. And what I mean by that, this is not a drug, this is not a vitamin, this is not a mineral, this is not an antioxidant formula, this is not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, magic mushrooms, roots from a magical 5,000-year-old tree, electrolyte beds, astronaut beds, laser lights, lotions, potions, gadgets, goodness knows what, the list goes on and on and on. But I'm not saying that to make fun of any of those things. All of those things are important. I just want to be clear that this is literally an entirely new frontier of science that is changing, bettering, and giving people their lives back.
Wow.
Now, usually when I get through that list, people go, well, what is it then?
Exactly. There's the rub.
And then I still don't tell them. I still say, well, look, I'll share you information on this. I'm going to send you an 8-minute video of a doctor explaining what this is, which is a favorite video I've got of Dr. David Silverman.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, he's going to explain, very quickly in a no nonsense fashion, exactly what this is, and show you where you can go and do some more homework if you want to do some homework. And also I want you to keep this in mind. Don't be put off by the channel this is coming out in, because it's coming out in a peculiar way than you would expect a breakthrough like this to come out in. But the only reason it's coming out in this fashion is it was supposed to come out, as a mainstream pharmaceutical product. It was supposed to become a drug. But the reason it didn't is because it was performing so well and changing people's lives in such a great way that pharmaceutical companies were willing to buy it all up just to perhaps keep it to themselves, because it was replacing so much of what they're already selling. And so that kind of piques people's curiosity as well. They want to know what it is because I told them what it's not. And hopefully I transfer a bit of that importance about how big this is. Yeah. So that was kind of a long answer, but they're kind of some of the things I say.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you. We just don't want you, David happens to be on. He's just on mute and he's driving home. We just didn't want you to blow up his head anymore. So thank you for that. No, he has put out some great videos for everybody to use. So we appreciate that. It's getting closer to the top of the hour. Does anybody else have one more question? Anyone else?
Heard that.
YouTube.com/events.
Is there somebody there?
I heard that.
Oh, David, yes, you did hear that.
Thanks, Steve and Sarah. Thanks for
Hey,
being
Dr.
thanks for being on
Silverman.
the call, guys. Really, really appreciate you guys being on the call, and your enthusiasm is off the charts, and your conviction is off the charts too. And can't wait to see you guys on the diamond trip. You're awesome.
There you go.
Yay.
That's happening. It's in the present.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Our goal coming back from Las Cabos was that we would be at the next Asir Ascent, except
Would have to pay for it.
we'd have to pay for it.
Yeah.
To go there and support all of the people that we help get along to the next one.
Well, we just want to see you on the diamond trip. So you have till
Yes.
August 3rd. There's your goal. Okay.
Yes.
I want to see you there too when I turn up.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. We can't thank you enough for taking your time, your precious time, to be on our phone call. I believe our team has greatly appreciated it. I've gotten a lot of comments. So thank you so very, very much for being on the phone call. And we look forward to seeing you, I guess, in September.
Well, we thank you so much. I hope in all that rambling, we've offered some small measure of help, and we're so very honored to be here. We're very excited that you invited us. So thank you so
Yes,
much, Debbie,
thank
Jackie,
you.
Absolutely.
Peg, and
My
everybody.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay. We want to get to new people, but I just wanted to very quickly, and I should have brought this up a little earlier, but I just got here. I want to share my screen and just congratulate anyone who's gone up in in rank, and then we'll get to the new people. So, login. And the only thing is, I don't know if that's all of them. So it's a 14, so I've got to do 25. Okay. So, I just want to congratulate all the new Director 300s, and Director 700s. So, new directors: Ken Chow, Wee La Hoon, Eddie Dion, Rebecca Butler, Buffy Donahoe, Jenny Gladding, and Teresa Lopez. Congratulations on going director. That means you've talked to and signed up 2 people, one on your left and one on your right sides. Director 300s, Julie Maxwell, Doug Twitchell, Dorian's in the Attic, which is Bill Gray, Marcia Drobick, and Vinny Alog. Congratulations on going director 300. And that is 300 points on your right side and 300 points on your left side, all in 1 week. And Director 700, Anna Soderquist and Christopher Chwal. And so I just want to extend congratulations out. That's 700 points on right and left sides. Now, if we were in Australia, it would be all bronzes and golds. So sorry about that. So I will stop share. And now on our team phone call, we would like to welcome the new people that are part of our team now, and let them tell us a little bit about themselves. And I know Bob Bellevue, somebody who was supposed to be on. Bob, are you there?
Debbie, can you hear me? It's David. I'm driving.
Yes, David, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that real quick. I'm driving. I'm sorry. It's raining. It's thundering. It's terrible out. Last week was our first Tuesday night webinar, and it was really good. There were like 65 people came on. So I just want to remind people that through May, on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a webinar for Americans, North Americans, and Asians, which is Wednesday morning at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night, and the Zoom number is different. It's 818-335-0225. 1-8-335-0225. I was really surprised and pleased with the number of people that tuned in and had guests on there. So if I can help you tomorrow night, I'll be doing it. Just want to let you know.
And that's at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, if I
So
can.
you might get some Australians on that also. Sylvia,
Hi,
yes?
Deb. Can you hear me? It's Bob. I'm on now. Can you hear me?
All right. Yes, Bob, go ahead.
Great. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. And that was an incredible presentation there. I don't know if they're on. Their name is Lala or CK. I don't see them on, but some new people that are coming on board here in town. And I don't know if they're on. If you could unmute CK or Lala if you're on the call. Okay. Well, they'll have to see the recording.
Okay.
Thanks,
I
Deb.
knew you should have them on. Absolutely.
I do want to mention Karen. One thing, Karen Rambeck's on the call. Karen Rambeck got number 6 last month in new enrollments, and she did another fast forward. So she's continuing to share this incredible technology. She's in Scottsdale, Arizona. Karen's on the line.
Congratulations, Karen. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Thank
Sylvie,
you.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I'm going to have Sylvie talk, and then I'll have Karen come back on for a second. Sylvie, go ahead.
The only thing I want to say regarding the webinar with David, give me a favor, don't call me. Because people are calling me. It's my phone number, my cell number. So I just put the Zoom, the 818-335-0225. It's not the number, it's the ID number. It's like a room number or code number. So I put if you click just on zoom.us/j/81833502225, you would get to the Zoom. So give that to your guest. It's easier rather than giving the zoom.us and an ID like that. And I love to talk to them, but it's just, you know.
Sylvie also does a French webinar, all in French, and that is every Wednesday at, you have to tell me the time again, I'm all confused on times. I'm in Mountain Time.
11 a.m. Pacific time, and I will put up a message the number because I don't know it by heart. So I will put it for you.
So if you have anybody who speaks French, Sylvie does a beautiful webinar. She has new guests on pretty much every week. So she does an incredible job. Karen Rambet, are you still on?
I think I just saw her drop off there, Deb, but I don't know if she's trying to get maybe back on. So you can go ahead and continue, I suppose. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So let me just ask, is there anybody else who has anyone new on? We'd love to meet you and have you tell us just a little bit about yourself. I know you guys have been signing up, people. Well, we had about 80 people that were listening to Steve and Sarah, and I guess. So there's the French webinar in the chat line, and that's the number, 277-501-585.
We're new, Debbie. Every day we're waking up as rookies again in survival mode to go out there and change lives.
Absolutely. No, that's perfect. Now we really want people to encourage people. The Fast Forward has been made a featured permanent function of ASEA at this point. We'd love to encourage people. I know Pearl Bowen is my queen of Fast Forwards. She gets on every 2 weeks and literally just, and even if she doesn't fully succeed in getting 4, she'll get 2 or 3, and it doesn't matter. That's not a failure. That's jumping up her business by a great deal. So I want to encourage everybody, Fast Forwards, you can earn close to $300 worth of stuff and money and product and more loyalty points, and that's a free case right there. And plus you've got at least 4 more people, brand new, excited people in your business. And if you want to get your business going fast, as Stevie and Sarah, do just back-to-back Fast Forwards. And there'll be some new updates to the Fast Forward this coming summer. So Karen has some surprises for us. That'll make it even better. All right. Nobody else has anyone new? Okay. All right, well, don't forget your Fast Forwards. Don't forget to do some of the things that Steve and Sarah were suggesting. I mean, that can really get you pumped up. I know when I get up and I meditate and then I go exercise, I'm pumped and ready for the day. And I've written down what I want to get done that day. I usually make a list every single night before I go to bed of what I want to get accomplished the next day. And if I've set goals like getting to Ambassador Diamond, and trying to hold on to Danny Doyle's coattails, I know how many people I have to talk to and how many things and accomplishments I have to do every day. So I posted that out by 3 months. I break it down. I know how many people I talk to every day, and I just keep going. And it keeps me excited. And if I've gotten out and exercised, I know Trish Schwinkler has stayed with me many times. Trish Schwinkler will get up and exercise, and then we do very dedicated, focused work, and then she'd go, come on, get your coat on, and we'd go out and we'd take a really brisk walk for about 30 minutes, and we'd come back, and then we'd do some more work, and then she'd get me up again, and we'd go out and walk again, and you know what Trish Schwinkler, she's a sign-up machine. She is top, earns more money than anyone, and she just makes herself get out and exercise, and that helps you keep focused throughout the day, and it keeps your energy up, and it keeps you happy, and it just keeps you feeling really great. So if I can give you one suggestion this week, Make yourself get up every hour at least, and at least move around, and go out maybe 2 or 3 times and just take even a 20-minute walk. It really pumps your blood and it keeps you going, and it keeps you excited and happy. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. If Peter will unmute everybody, we can all say goodbye to each other. Debbie Robinson to be on her team phone call for a few minutes. So,
Thank you so much.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
And good morning to the Australians.
Bye.
Thank you again for being on. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thanks.
Bye. Thank you.